Newcastle 2, Arsenal 0. First reactions from that game. Honestly, I think disappointing. Disappointing is probably the right word to use. Let's just get straight into it. What is there to say about this game? Newcastle, it was interesting the way how they played, because they definitely picked their pockets, picked their times to press us really high. And obviously it got them the goal, for example, for Anthony Gordon. But apart from that, they were quite happy to sit deep throughout most of the moments throughout the game, letting us have the ball and then really get us on the counter attack. And the possession stats show, Arsenal had 69% of the ball compared to 31%. But what that showed was, and what I feared coming into this game, is that Newcastle, they had this game plan of playing on the counter attack, and they knew that Arsenal, we struggle to break teams down when they sit in a low block. And going into the game, I wanted Ethan Nwaneri to start this game, because I felt like he's a little bit better at unlocking defences compared to Martinelli, who ended up obviously coming off for him in the 30th minute, which I'm going to come on to in a second. But yeah, the way we played, we did not create pretty much any chances. The best chance that we had throughout the whole game was that Odegaard's chance in the first half, who, by the way, if he sticks that away, it's a completely different game. And I'm sorry, but there's been too many instances throughout these last few years where Odegaard's weak foot has let him down. I don't understand how, as a professional footballer, for someone with such technical ability as well, like Odegaard, to not have a good weak foot. I've never understood it, really. And you've got to put that chance where he hits the post, and minutes later, I can't remember how long exactly, they come back, and ISAK, who, by the way, he is just week by week, it seems like he just keeps getting better and better. He comes out with an outstanding performance. You think, wow, this guy's special. Week after that, he plays even better. He really caused... I've never seen Saliba in so much trouble. Ever. Honestly, I've never seen a striker cause him so many issues than ISAK did today. That first goal, if we go back to that, it's a long ball over the top, and honestly, I think Saliba's got to do better. He's got to win the ball, get his head on it or something, or foul ISAK at the most. There's that very common saying in football: it's either the man or the ball. You don't let both pass, right? But yeah, he's let ISAK just place the ball down for Gordon, who then he spins in behind, runs behind, and gets that shot off. He got unlucky to hit the post, but Murphy followed it up. But yeah, Saliba, I feel like he's just got to do a little bit better in that scenario. But yeah, if we're not talking about individual moments throughout the game, if we look at the game itself, it was poor from Arsenal. I think we played into Newcastle's hands in the sense that Newcastle wanted to play exactly how they did today, that being getting the fans behind them, getting those tackles in, get us a bit, I don't like to use this word, but get us a bit rattled, and that's what we look like out there. Declan Rice, usually so composed, almost losing his head there towards the end of the game. It just wasn't a great performance by any means. Like I say, we did not create anywhere near enough chances, and ultimately Newcastle were probably the better side. They created the better chances. You can't really have complaints about that. But I think the main issue for us now is something that I've talked about already. I mentioned it in my transfer video, which, by the way, if you guys want to watch, I'll link it down below. But yeah, Martinelli coming off injured, which looks like a hamstring problem. And it's just our attacking options right now. Okay, we've got Trossard, Havertz, Nwaneri, and Sterling. Let me repeat that. Trossard, Havertz, Nwaneri, and Sterling. How on earth is a combination of any of those three that you put out on a given night, is that meant to be an attack that is looking to challenge for the title and try to do well in the Champions League. I mean, we were off it before the Martinelli injury. We were already lacking in squad depth, and that, I mean, it's like a sucker punch, really. Martinelli going off injured. We've got the Dubai trip now. Apparently, the Arsenal squad's going out to Dubai for a couple of weeks because there's a small break now. But I mean, for the rest of the season, how on earth are we going to compete in any of those competitions with that depth? It's just not possible. Even let's say if it's a tight game or something, our only option off the bench, realistically, as an attacker, is going to be Raheem Sterling. That is it. And all due respect to Sterling, I wanted it to work out for him. He's just not cut it by any means since coming to Arsenal. He's just been so far off it. And if we know that we don't have any options coming off the bench, we've really got to make it work with the team, with the attack that is starting the games. But there's so many instances in matches where that doesn't work out and you have to make changes. We are, I hate to say it, but we look like we are genuinely screwed here for the end of the season. I don't want this to be some sort of overreaction because before this game, the spirits were high. We just beat Man City 5-1. But the injury, it's like it's almost put like a nail in a coffin. I still have hope. Of course, I'm a fan of the team that we can still win something this season. But the board not backing the manager, not bringing in a single attacking player this January. I mean, yeah, like we said, it was going to come back to bite us anyway. But now even more, depends obviously how long Martinelli's out for. But yeah, it's just from the board, it's just not good enough. We needed the backing, we didn't get it, and now we've dug ourselves into a deeper hole. Yeah, coming back to that game, I'm looking at the stats now. We had 13 corners and didn't create a single, maybe that Lewis Skelly chance at the end, but the game was done by then. What else is there to talk about, really? Nothing. I just don't think that we were as up for it as we should have been. We knew that coming up to St George's Park, it was going to be St James's Park, sorry, we knew it was going to be difficult. We knew the fans would be up for it. Yeah, we just didn't get it right today. We didn't get it right. We did not create anywhere near enough opportunities. The whole team, honestly, was poor. I can't... Who out there for Arsenal had a good performance today? You look across the back line, Timber, not really. Saliba, possibly one of his worst games for the club, honestly, today. Gabriel, he didn't really do too much. Maybe for that Murphy goal, we could have tried to do something a little bit better. Lewis Skelly, he was probably one of our only good players today, trying to actually bring the ball back up from the defence. That Party, I don't know how he didn't get booked today. Odegaard, honestly, like, sometimes he shoots like a fairy. Genuinely, it's like a fairy. There just seems to be no conviction with his shots. Rice today, he looked off it. Then yeah, the front three. Martinelli looked alright before coming off of that injury, of course. Nwaneri didn't really do too much today. Didn't have the impact that I thought that he would have if he was to start the game. Trossard, likewise. Havertz, he didn't really have any chances for him throughout the whole game. So yeah, I think the better side won today, despite them, not keeping more of the ball. They got their tactics spot on, and that is what Newcastle do to teams. On the counter, they're so quick to break out, and yeah, they punished us today. Although even then, if you look at the goals, like high press, that's where the second goal came from, which fair enough. But Raya, that's a silly mistake there. You just got to go long. The Gordon goal, that's quality from ISAK, but even then it's a long ball over the top. They've won that. Then you look at the reverse fixture, likewise, ISAK's goal comes from a long ball up in there into the box. I mean, it was avoidable goals, and that's really what's cost us. But yeah, today just not good enough at all. And yeah, like I say, it's a break now. Come back to, I believe, who do we have? Leicester away, I think, next or something. But yeah, by far not not the greatest performance from Arsenal. At the end of the day, it's a shame, really, because we are now out of the Carabao Cup, out of the FA Cup. It's only the Champions League and Premier League to play for. And yeah, with our lack of squad depth going into this run-in of the season, it's just not looking very convincing. Yeah, I don't know really what else to say. Disappointing. And that is pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think. And yeah, that's all I've got to say. So in that case, I'll see you for the next one.